Do you want to know what happened to my cheek? When I was in my 20s, still living in my apartment over the shopping center, I had one of these little skin nodules come on my chest, about 2 inches down from my is the clavicle, honestly, the breastbone, the bone that leads into your shoulder bone. Honestly, these are words that I've used my whole life. My head is so puffed out to one side. It's not spiritual, really, is it? Subconsciously. Anyway, I had one of those little skin tags? It's not really a skin tag. It was a flat one. Come on my chest. When I was, just when I looked in the mirror. And when I walked away from the mirror, it was gone again. I mean, my body can be pretty perfect. And it was disturbing. But I remembered it because it just was unappealing to me, and I felt as if there was something wrong or something else at me. Then I went on with my life from that moment. And the only other time that happened was when I was getting married to Chris. After he had become engaged to me, a little wart came on the back of my elbow, the very tip of my elbow on my right arm. And that was disgusting. And he said it was fine. And I said, I'm not, I had a short sleeve wedding dress. I'm not marrying you with what a wart. Where would I get a wart after all of these years of life on my right elbow, at the very tip of it? So I burned it off. And that was fine. There was nothing else. I had the cut in my cheek at, 21 was it? I came home, I went to French school to up my French, to finish my French degree, because I had a French concentration. So I finished my French degree by going to French school in the summer with the school board, in conjunction with the school board. So I have a French degree according to my school board. At the time, it was marked down that way. So I went to a full immersion, and while I was there, I was, no big deal, but my skin broke apart in one little spot when I came back. And I guess it would scab and I'd pick at it or whatever. And I went to the doctor, and that was the sign of, possible skin cancer is what they said. Oh, because I had fair skin, and if I had been skidooing, and I'm trying to say I don't do any of it. I didn't go out in the sun. I always wear sunscreen. I always wear a hat. Too ugly to go out in the sun. Why would I sunbathe if, when I put on something? I mean, my skin is pretty, like I said, Sleeping Beauty when I'm on my own. But if I'm going somewhere, it's like I puff out and, everything, the hair on my arms, everything looks kind of male-ish. I don't need my own inner bodyguard if it's someone I wouldn't have chosen. In any case, here I go again. So that came, so I burned that off with wart remover, and the spot on my cheek had, by the time I met Chris, pretty much healed over. It was almost invisible. And I was thin. But somehow after I met Chris, he has one, a spot on his nose where there's no skin. Almost like the one on my cheek, but my cheek started to resemble the skin on his face in that spot. It was like the little spot of where the skin had been taken away. It started to look as if someone had transformed that spot on his nose onto my cheek, and it made my face look rougher and uglier at times. Sometimes I have pictures. I took one in the bathroom of myself, dressed in a little, tiny little pantsuit that my mother gave me, a professional pantsuit, size petite, and you can barely see it. But other times,